Hey everybody, welcome back to Guys Night Lab. I'm Jesus Velasquez.
I'm Jordan Zacharias.
And I hope you've been enjoying our Thanksgiving episodes here. We are coming to the tail end of our
Extravaganza.
And we were, it's funny because Thanksgiving, I've always said it's the middle child of the big three holidays. Halloween's pretty epic. People decorate. There's all these events. And then Christmas is Christmas, the top dog.
And Thanksgiving's the redheaded stepchild of the three holidays.
It just gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And so I was looking for like movies to review, and we found some and other stuff. But I was like, okay, I guess that's it. Like, there's not much else we could talk about. But I've always loved Thanksgiving just because it's always had some fun memories as a kid. And so the one thing I wanted to talk about today was what are some memories or traditions or things that you remember about Thanksgiving that you just like loved?
I think the one cool thing that I remember growing up is that I like that we hosted some troops, like some Marines, and at our house. I think we did it. My parents did it like 2 or 3 years in a row, and it was really fun because these guys were dudes who obviously didn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving Day. And they were trying to get them somewhere with a actual home cooked meal and being able to go somewhere. And so it was cool though because they were really open and would talk about a lot, but they're always very grateful to be there and stuff like that. So that was a cool tradition. I don't know. We didn't have a ton of different traditions in our family. What about you guys?
Like, we didn't have like traditions for Thanksgiving, but I have a lot of like fun memories that I guess you could say, like, not to say they turn into traditions, but like, so for my family, it was always like having family and friends over. Like, it was never just exclusively family. Like, friends would always come over. So that's why I always like having friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, you always want a bigger party.
Yeah. That's why. That's why I was like, the more the merrier.
Right.
But I always remember so I get next week off. Like, I teach at Palomar College, and so I get the week off. Or most students, or whatever, K through college, they get the week off if you're an instructor. I remember when I was, you were homeschooled, so when I was in public school, when I was a kid, even in high school, we went to school like the day before Thanksgiving. Like, we didn't get it off. It was like Wednesday. I remember I told my teacher, I'm like, it's Thanksgiving Eve. Like, why are we here?
Yeah, it's still an Eve.
Yeah, and so... But I remember elementary, we'd always have like a Thanksgiving party or whatever, and the cafeteria would serve like a slab of gravy turkey and like mashed potatoes.
Cream corn, Virginia.
That's right. And this Thanksgiving cafeteria turkey tastes like Thanksgiving crap. And so it was fun. But like, I just remember like the parties in school in elementary. And what I remember, like, in college, one of the traditions... Oh, okay, I guess this would be a tradition. Is in college, friends and us would always go play football in the morning. Like, that was always fun. Like, waking up and going and playing football, in our heyday when we were, like, nice and nice and polished and athletic.
Yeah.
And weren't sore when you'd get, like, tackled or whatever. That was always a good time.
That's a good tradition. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, so that was fun. Like, because, to wake up and, like, hey, you guys play football? Yeah, okay, cool. So then... you just relive some glory days, or just have fun and whatever. One of the other, like, this isn't a tradition, but one memory. This is a shout out to Mike Vandy right now.
Okay,
Mike Vandy Worker, whose birthday is coming up, and I know that because in one of our other episodes we showed our commentary on the potluck o turkey, potluck o turkey, the Fiesta Ole.
Yeah,
and where we were doing that ballet dance or whatever. So that week, it was 2005, Mike Vandy, myself, this other guy named Jake, and Isaac, I think his name was. No, we went to go pick up Isaac in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
And it was the worst road trip ever. You think planes, trains, and automobiles was bad? We left on Monday night, which was Mike Vandy's 18th birthday.
Okay.
And we drove through the night, all night, and then... we get to Santa Cruz on Tuesday morning, like at 6 or 7. Like, we're dazed, and we sleep until like maybe 1 p.m.
Okay.
Then Isaac is done with his classes. We go. I can't remember if we watched the movie. I feel like we did, but I think that might have been a different time we went.
Okay.
We went and got dinner at a Chinese place. This was Tuesday night now. and then we drove Tuesday night back home.
Oh
And
gosh.
so, like, literally, like, we were just up all night, and we drove all the way back on Wednesday. So it was Tuesday night going into Wednesday, and then I will never forget. Like, I drop off Isaac, I drop off Jake, and I'm like, okay, it's still dark out. You know, it's like 4:30, 4:45. It's still a little dark.
Yeah.
Like, it's when you get home and you're like, it's dark. You're like, okay, it's not that bad. Like, I'll just hop into bed, and then I remember I had Mike, and Mike lived in Valley Center, and I was like, son of a. And I was like, I was so pissed, and Mike and I talk about it till this day, where
The
he's
long
like,
drive dropping him off.
well, because everyone else lived in Escondido, and
Yeah,
our
yeah.
town, like, it's like everyone else lived in town, and so Valley Center is like another like 25-minute drive up a hill. And so I just remember, like, when I dropped off Isaac, I was like, okay, like, my house is like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
I'm going home, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I got to drop off Mike. And
Right.
then I just remember we were so pissed that we were just, no one was laughing. Like, the night drive, everyone was laughing. And then, like, about like 3 in the morning, it was just like, done. Like, everyone,
Yeah.
we were done. And so that was, I always wanted my planes, trains, and automobiles moment of a road trip. And that was nothing like it.
That was not good nor funny.
Not good,
yeah.
nor funny. We didn't say no motel.
Yeah.
It was just like work the whole time. We just drove the
Right.
whole time, and so
I
that
remember
was
touring days. I remember.
yeah,
well.
yeah. So yeah, like turn days.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
just like you just gotta hop in,
Just gotta
or
get to the next
pack up,
place.
get to the next place. Yeah, and so so that's a fun memory. I think Thanksgiving for me, it's like, even as a kid, I'll never forget going up to another road trip to San Jose with my parents. So I think road trips, and that maybe that's why I love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's a road trip movie. It's a Thanksgiving movie. Like, we'd go up to my grandma's house in San Jose, which is about 8-hour drive. So we take a road trip. But I remember clearly, like, I was probably like 8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 9. Had to be 8, like 7 or 8. And like, it was the one and only time that I can remember where it was my whole family, and I mean, like, my mom's side of the family, like, not my dad's, but they were all there. I mean, it was a blast. The kids were doing the kids thing, the grown-ups were doing their grown-ups thing. Like, we were decked out, like, now, like, I don't know if it's just like a thing now, or maybe because it's not a big Thanksgiving, but like, we were all dressed up. Like, I had like a collar shirt and tie. Like, I'm a kid,
Nice.
and like, my parents were like all decked up to the nines, and it was just like, it felt like a big thing, like all the wine glasses and glass and the big table,
Yeah.
and I don't
Feels super special.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, I'll never forget that. Like, there was the big kids table, and it was tons of fun, and it wasn't like we drove up. It was like we stayed for like the whole week, so
Oh, that's cool.
it was like,
Yeah.
it just felt like a holiday thing, and
Yeah.
so that's what I remember about. That's what I remember about, Thanksgiving. And so, what about you? Any other memories, or any other traditions, or any other thing?
It's funny. I the two things I think I brought up last time when we were talking about food. I always, when I think of Thanksgiving, the first thing I think of is my grandma's mashed potatoes and her cherry pies that she would always make. So yeah, it's those are great memories. But yeah, I think for me, it's always just the. I mean, the thing about Thanksgiving is that you're always looking forward to it because everyone talks about it. You're like, oh, just a day of eating.
Yeah.
But there's always so much work and prep
Yeah.
and cooking and everything that goes into it that by the time you get to the actually sitting down to eating part, you're so tired and you're so grateful to just be eating I think it makes the food taste that much better. You know what I mean? Because it's never easy getting to it.
Do you ever eat? Do you ever eat, and then, like, when the last guests leave and it's just you at home, like, sitting on the couch, like, go and get another plate, and like, okay, now I'm gonna eat. Like, I do
Yeah.
that
Oh.
every year. Like,
Okay, I have a new tradition I've started just for the past, I should say, probably for the past 10 years or so since we lived at the Chestnut House. The day after Thanksgiving, I make a special sandwich called the kitchen sink.
the kitchen sink.
Where I
nice.
literally load it with everything. Every leftover has to go into it. So it's
Okay.
literally turkey, mashed
The
potatoes, a little
kitchen
bit of
sink,
stuffing.
I like it.
So I just layer it, and it's huge. And the kids and Janelle make fun of me every year and laugh at me, dude. But I will sit there and I will power
This is
down this whole sandwich.
The like Thanksgiving night, like when everyone
No,
leaves,
no,
or
this is
later?
the next day.
Oh, okay.
This is
so,
for
yeah.
lunch the next
The
day,
next
the day
day,
after
okay.
Thanksgiving.
So it's funny you mentioned that, because I have I guess it's a tradition now that I make, and I make I haven't named it. Maybe you guys can help me name it, but I make a soup with the leftovers, So I use the
Oh.
mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
the
you do this.
stuffing.
You do soup. I do sandwich
I love,
form.
I
Nice,
love,
dude.
that's right. I love soup. So like I do the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, mashed potatoes, mashed
Oh, you lay the cable guy.
mashed
If I'm
potatoes.
crying, I'm lying. I got taters.
I agree, my name mashed potatoes. And so I did the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the green beans. Sorry, I don't know. I just want the mashed potatoes is just rolling off the tongue
That's
for
great
some
because
reason.
you're just like, oh yeah, there's turkey, there's whatever, there's mashy tatties, and then there's some green beans and stuff. And it's like, what the?
I don't know.
Oh, that was
So,
great.
anyways, all right. So I do all the like the stuffing, the mashed potatoes. I can't even think like what the
That's
real
good
word is
stuff.
now.
Yeah.
The green beans and what else I put in there? Whatever other stuff or whatever. Maybe a little rice or stuff like that. But it's really good. It's really thick soup, but it's delicious.
Nice, dude.
So,
You more of a stew.
more of a stew, yes.
Yeah.
A tater stew. So, but yeah, no, I think
I
Thanksgiving.
call it mashed tatty stew.
Mashed tater stew. I love Thanksgiving because I feel, like even my kids, like I decorated my house for Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll put a picture of it on here, but my kids are like, why are we decorating for Thanksgiving? Let's get this off. Let's put Christmas decorations up. I'm like, no,
No.
we have to wait. It's a process.
Too
and
early. Too
You have
early.
to give some love to Thanksgiving.
That's
And
right, dude.
And I feel, like I feel we should give some love to Thanksgiving, especially now here's me on my soapbox. Bear with me. But I feel like, Thanksgiving's getting a bad rap because, then people are going to be like, "Oh yeah, well, it's founded on this horrible thing that happened and we had one Thanksgiving."
Right.
And then this happened and blah 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 blah. And it's just like, I was thinking
Here's
about
an idea. How about you take that idea and cram it up?
Yeah, you're
How about you enjoy time with friends and family?
cram
and...
it up your cranberry sauce. And so, yeah, and I looked at it this way. It's like, think about it like, yeah, there's a lot of things that probably didn't go the best way it should have gone, but I feel like that initial Thanksgiving had great intentions and it probably was a great time.
Right before the slaughter.
What happened
Right.
afterwards, I don't think it happened right afterwards, but it's I was thinking about
Too
it
soon.
like too soon. I was looking at it like this. What if like you were, your parents had gotten like divorced, and it's like, are you just gonna focus on that your parents are separated and it sucks and you hate that they're not together? Or are you gonna focus that, hey, it was fun like when they were together and they still love me and things are great? Now, yes, we can complain about Thanksgiving, but when I look at Thanksgiving, I can't make amends for the past sins of past people that I don't know. But what I can celebrate is the memories that I've made with my family and friends of being thankful and having great community and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
spoken like a true fascist.
Wait, what? I'm a fashionista? And so, no, so I really want to like always celebrate Thanksgiving because it's for me, it's just a special holiday of remembering like our friends and our family and the things that I've experienced with people and yeah, and I want to make those memories with my family, my friends, and honestly, like I feel like Thanksgiving does get lost a little bit because our families like, and I wonder if that's just, I don't know if it's just my family or if it's a thing from like the 80s or 90s, but I just feel like, like Friendsgiving's a big thing, but like, have you seen like a big family Thanksgiving? Like I don't know any of my friends that have like a huge like Thanksgiving.
I don't think I know anyone, no.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's just like a lost art or like everyone's just doing their own thing, but I just remember back in like the 80s and 90s that Thanksgiving was like this big family togetherness. And
Right.
it's just like, I don't know.
Huh.
Anyways, on that positive note, just kidding. No, I really want to just, yeah.
And then she died. Well, thanks for tuning in this year to our Thanksgiving special.
And then 5 years from now, it's like, we're down to 2, Halloween and Christmas.
Weren't there 3 Indians last year?
He's quoting The Simpsons,
The
by
Simpsons.
the way.
The Simpsons.
Don't leave no angry comments here.
Actually, do it and smash that like button.
That's right. Be thankful we're here.
Yeah. They say one thing I will say is they say I forget where I heard this, but they said one of the greatest antidotes to depression or sadness is to take stock of what you're grateful for.
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of a good thing to remember is that for me, it's a good time which I try to a little bit during that time, or during the week of Thanksgiving, is to actually look around and kind of make mental notes or actually physically write down things I'm thankful for and pray about those things and say, and give thanks for them, because it's you can be a lot. It's hard to be depressed or hard to be anxious about things when you actually have stuff written down in front of you, all the things you've been blessed with in your life.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and it's easy to be cynical. It's easy to be like, ugh,
Yeah.
whatever. That's my cynical face.
Mm-hmm.
But, anyways, what traditions did you have? What are your favorite Thanksgiving memories? Oh, one of my favorite Thanksgiving memories by
Smashing
far.
like buttons.
Yeah, smashing like buttons and having followers on your YouTube podcast channel.
Subscribe. Yep.
No, one of my favorite, and we'll end with this, is Thanksgiving TV show episodes. Life with Louie. Oh, come on, we're turkey. I like the stuffing.
Life with Louie is such a great show.
So, I bet, and I'll talk about that in another episode, all the TV shows. But, Bart versus Thanksgiving, King of the Hill Thanksgiving, Married with Children Thanksgiving episodes.
Oh, yeah, so many. The Garfield Thanksgiving
Garfield,
special, Peanuts.
Peanuts, yeah, Charlie Brown, Life with Louie. I think there might have been one for Batman animated series. I don't know. The list goes on and on. Home Improvement. But those were always special times to see, during when I was a kid or even teenager. But,
oh, yeah.
Anyways, have a happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully you make some great new memories and traditions. All right, we'll see you next time with Guys Net Lab.
Happy Thanksgiving.